A beautiful development is sprouting in Silverest Extension, and it has set the whole city talking. It's the Horizon Green Village Housing Estate, situated 20 kilometers from the airport roundabout and 2.5 kilometers off Greatest Road. This eco-friendly development targets savvy Zambians who want to live in a green, clean, orderly but affordable neighborhood. As the Horizon Green Village development was launched, it became clear to everyone who was present that ambience, serenity and class meet affordability at the Green Village. This combination is a rare gem, which is why everyone is now rushing to buy their residence at the Horizon Green Village Estate. So don't be left out. Don't wait until it's late. Make that move right now and invest in the Horizon Green Village development in Lusaka City. Call us on 0972 604 614, 0979 888 970, 0779 707 215. Horizon Green Village, an eco-friendly community.
It's 18:33. Welcome to another episode of Property Focus, brought to you courtesy of Horizon Properties, and of course I'm your host Nono Zaza. This evening on the show we are talking about challenges of purchasing land from individuals and developers. But before we get into tonight's business, here's a call out to clients, and of course different category of clients, people who've done business with Horizon Properties or are still doing business with Horizon Properties. Now, clients who were offered but have not come forward to execute contracts of sales, clients who finished paying and executed contracts of sales but have not come forward to proceed with transfer of rights or change of ownership, clients who have proceeded with a change of ownership but certain documents are missing, for example NRC copies, clients who finished paying and submitted all relevant documents but have not received their titles, as well as clients who for one reason or the other are not getting the expected feedback. Now what you need to do is send a text or WhatsApp to this number 097 9685 892, 097 9685 892. Now, to help me discuss this topic this evening, I am joined by Dr. Sokyo Mpindi, CEO from Horizon Properties. Good evening to you, Doc, and good to see you once again.
Good evening, good evening, listeners.
And we also have Derek Katongo, Liaison Officer from the Horizon Green Village Project. Good evening to you and welcome to the program as well.
Good evening, Nono, and thank you so much for having us.
Okay. Now, Doc, briefly help us break down the topic we're looking at tonight and also highlight its importance for land buyers.
Okay, thank you very much. This topic is not new here. On the 28th of September 2021, I brought the same topic, having noticed that I realized that a number of individuals and the public in general, they're having challenges and they're encountering a lot of problems along the way as they buy land from individuals and developers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, land administration is governed by is the preserve of the Ministry of Lands, assisted by two pieces of legislation. We have CAP 184, CAP 185. CAP 184 is the Lands Act. CAP 185 is the Land and Deeds Act. And we have the Land Survey Act, CAP 188. So this is to do land administration. But of recent, it's like a number of people have become land developers, and they lack understanding of the necessary rules and regulation pertaining to land development. This is the reason we decided that we should now bring back this topic, which was also, although engineered, but it was also delivered on the 28th of September 2021. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Now, before we proceed to discuss the program in detail, can you help the listeners in defining some of these commonly used terms in property transactions? Say land, lease, and state land.
Okay, thank you very much. Land means interest in land, whether virgin land, bare land, or land which has got improvement, but this one does not include mining rights as defined by the Mines Act. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it means simply means that, as you know, the land in Zambia is vested in the President of the Republic of Zambia on behalf of the people in perpetuity, So you have the land, you can have the land, the title, but you don't own the minerals under that land.
You can own the land.
But you have no rights to the minerals in that land.
If there are minerals on the land?
Yes, if they are there.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the land we're talking about, but we don't talk about rights in the land, whether bare land or with improvements, but you don't own anything under if there are minerals, even the space, even up. It's not yours.
It doesn't belong to
you.
you.
Look at me, yes. Yes. So lease, okay, these are also defined these definitions are within the law. Lease means the lease granted by the President of the Republic of Zambia, or lease that was converted from the freehold under the Repealed Act. You know, land now is it's not freehold. The freehold is where you have up, you own the space above it, and the what is under. So that's freehold. You are freehold. And it's forever. Freehold means forever. But land, what you have, the land we have, is at a maximum of about 99-year lease, and it's lease. You lease from the President. And state land means land which is not situated under the customary area, because we have land administration under the customary land, and the statehood, which is land under the state on title.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what is the first important issue that someone should consider when buying land? And can a person carry out any activity on their land, whether to build shops, bar, or pottery?
It's a very, very wide question, but I will start with it. That question has got two parts. First of all, let me start with whether you can build anything on your land as you wish. It's very important that before you build anything on your land, to know the registered use, because all land in Zambia is zoned and is defined for a specific use, and therefore it's very important to understand the registered use of your land. Is it farmland? Is it residential? Is it commercial? So before you build a shop, that's now commercial. Is your land registered for commercial use, or it's not, or for residential? So, and this comes now to approvals. Before you construct anything, bar or shop, you need to seek approval from planning authority, and this is very, very important. But as you see, because of lack of supervision and lack of capacity of planning authorities and local authorities, a number of individuals they just elect to house shops in residential places, bars in residential places, which is irregular and illegal. So approvals must be sought before you construct anything, because all land in title is zoned. There's a registered use for that land, and therefore you need to seek approvals, the necessary approvals, before you construct anything. Now, coming to what you need to know before your land, we have what we are developing and what we call the know the seller, the KTS. You have heard about the KYC.
Oh yes.
Now, as Horizon Properties, the leaders in this business, real estate services, we are developing the KTS, know the seller. The KTS, when finalized, I think it will help a lot the public. So first and foremost, it's very, very critical and necessary to know the owner of the land, and indeed what authority is vested in them, even if they are not the owner. What is the kind of authority they have to sell the land? Because as I've just mentioned, many individuals now and companies, they're engaged into issues of land development without knowing that land has got rules and regulations when you're trying to deal with land. So you need to know your customer, your seller, the KTS. You need to know your customer, and also to know what authority they have. Many people buy land without knowing whether this is the owner of the land or not. And at the end of the day, they encounter a lot of challenges when they found that the one who's selling has no authority or is not the owner. So you need to establish whether they are the owners or they have authority and which kind of authority they have. If it's a company selling land, as you see in papers, there are too many companies selling land now. It's very important to check that whether this company is registered at PACRA by that name. Because someone can advertise any name, but is this name lawful? Is it registered under the law that they are authorized to trade? So this is very important. There are names which you see in the papers, but when you go to PACRA, they are non-existent. So that one should cause you should signal that you may be heading for trouble. So it's very important to when you're buying land, you cannot buy land in a hurry. The moment you buy land in a hurry, the chances of making mistakes, they are quite high. So it's also important to know where this company is located. Where is the physical address? Because in real estate services, physical address and presence of the practitioners in those premises is very, very important. You cannot practice real estate, whether development or agency or whatever you're doing in the real estate sector, without having a physical address. In the absence of physical address, it causes now a risk, becomes a risk. You become a risk to the public and the would-be clients, because you must be seen, because you're dealing with the people's lives, because property and life, they're connected. People sell for life to acquire property, and sometimes, in most cases, property is not actually for individual, it's for family. So it's there are vested interests in the buying of land. So you must establish the physical address of the individual or the company. It's very important also to, for example, to know if you wish to buy property from a particular company, you should be very careful on the names. There's a tendency of mimicking names. You may wish to buy property from land from Horizon, and then you end up buying from Rising Properties, the Rising Star Properties, the Rising Star Properties. And at the end of the day, when you encounter problems, you say, no, actually, I thought it was Horizon Properties. No, it wasn't Horizon Property, it was Rising Star Properties. So these issues, they may look to be trivial, but a lot of people have encountered a lot of problems with this kind of misguided, because the tricksters, the fraudsters, they are very, very cunning. They will portray a picture that okay, could be Horizon or another company which is familiar, and then they entice you with the very attractive offers, and then you go in. But then by the time you have paid, because you are buying in a hurry, and then by the time you see the receipt, this is not Horizon Properties, this is Rising Star Properties, and then it's done. So what comes next, it can be a disaster or very, very disappointing.
So in short, there must always be due diligence when you are attempting to buy land from anyone, from even from a company.
Never buy property in a hurry, and you do some kind of due diligence. It can save you a lot. This is something, those who are listening, let them listen. Those who have ears, let them listen. Let them hear. But those who don't have, again, we hear from you at one point. We hear from you. But please take this advice. This is a professional advice and advice from experience. We don't have to be in a hurry, because it's important also to have some kind of knowledge and understand who are these people, who are the people behind this development. Where are they coming from? Where are they from? If they're new here, how long have they been here? How long have they been doing business? Is this their core business, or is another business? So all this information, it helps you to make a very informed decision before you lose your money. Because when the money is released, money to get the money back in an event there's an issue. It's a challenge.
Very difficult.
Very difficult indeed. So also on the 28th September 2021, I advise that if it's a foreign company, try to go to the website and see, okay, this company is listed here, but where were they from? Where are they coming from? What is the track record where they're coming from? You may sometimes you find that the companies who are here, registered here, but when you look at the background, oh, this company was banned in South Africa. This company was banned in this place. This company was banned in Australia. So if you see that, and then it means that it's up to you to take a risk or not. So it's very important to have this due diligence on each and everything. Property, land is not an issue of a hurry. It's the issue of decision you make with an understanding. And this understanding we bring here on this radio to the public that they should make informed decisions. You know, we read a lot of stories, but these stories, they're unfortunate. But it's unfortunate, but it's very unfortunate that that's why we are compelled to come here and deliver this information, so that those who have ears can hear and pick something from what we're saying. Lastly, in the KTS, know the seller is, please, when you buy a plot, land, know where it is. Never be lazy to go and locate and know where your plot is. A lot of people buy plots and they take 1 year, he hasn't seen it. And they say, no, I bought a plot from this company A. And they're happy. Are you sure? Yes. But how do you know where is the plot? Where is the plot? Never be lazy to go and physically see your plot and the extent. The moment you get lazy, that is now you're giving a loophole where if the developer is not trusted, they will sell your plot because you don't know where it is, and they will take you to another place. So it's very important to know in the first place, the moment you decide to make a deposit, before you make a deposit to any property or land, because now this time the Zambians have known the value of land, and also because of the competition in the market, you find that there are flexible terms of payment. People pay bit by bit. But even if you are to make a deposit of 2,000, please, before you make that deposit, let's make sure you see what you are depositing on.
Important. Okay, now let's talk about subdividing. Can a person subdivide their land the way they want since it's their name and it's on title? How does it work?
Apparently, as I just mentioned, that the state of land, you will have state land. The land is leased, and you cannot sell land or subdivide without authorization. Cap 185, Section 5, provides that a person shall not sell, transfer, or assign any land without consent of the president, and shall accordingly apply for the consent before doing so. You need to apply for consent. And you need to consent to sell or to subdivide. You need to apply for consent, state consent. The state is the president. The state, because the president is holding the power of the land on behalf of the people, then the state. So you need to apply for consent because you are a tenant. You are leasing, so you cannot try to sell what you are leasing without consent from the from the one who has the powers. So you need consent. But if you apply and you don't get a feedback within 45 days, the law provides that the consent has been given. When you apply for consent and you don't receive a reply within 45 days,
then automatically it's given.
It means that the law provides that it has been granted. Yeah. So that's the way. You cannot subdivide without authority. You need approval. Yeah.
So maybe the question would be, what is state consent to assign with regard to property sales?
State consent is the authority to sell land. sell property, you need. I've just read state consent, Cap 184, Section 5, provides that a person shall not sell or transfer or assign any land without consent of the president. So you need to apply for consent. The consent, these responsibilities of the president, they are conducted by the Commission of Lands and the Ministry of Lands in general. Mm-hmm. So you apply for consent, and if it's granted, then you can proceed to sell.
Okay. What advice can you give on the sale of untitled land, and can it be converted to leasehold?
Indeed, land which is not on title may not be subdivided because or sold. However, the chief may grant permission to convert customer land to leasehold. Customer land can be converted to leasehold, but it's not construed to say it is subdivision. It is the authority from the chief to consent for you to convert customer land to leasehold. And this is also provided by the, as I said, there's those 3 pieces of legislation which govern land administration. Cap 184, Section 8, Subsection 1, authorizes the conversion of land or customer land to leasehold. So you get consent from the chief, and then the process will continue until you get the title. So customer land can be converted to leasehold, but you may not subdivide because this time it's the chiefs. I'm not saying that subdividing. No, they are offering. I think they're offering the customers. I can't say that they are subdividing. they are offering. They are offering. They are giving consent to.
It has already
Zambians
been subdivided.
Yes, I'm not saying subdivision because land which is not entitled, you can subdivide it.
Okay.
they are offering portions of land.
And these portions have been divided.
Now, I wouldn't say that because I've already said I don't want to contradict myself. You can't subdivide land which is not known, the extent which is not known by law. So they are giving portions of land.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Doc. You listen to Property Focus right here, brought to you courtesy of Horizon Properties. We take a short break. We'll be right back.